crazy to have the Foxies here in the studio. I feel like we got to know you so much behind a screen.
Yeah.
We talked about this off air. And now here you are, Julia, face to face. How many scream times did we squeeze in with you? A couple at least, right?
Yeah, I think it was like 2 or 3. And every single time I would see your all's name pop up on social media or something, I'm like, those are my sisters. We haven't even met in person yet.
It's cool, though. That's what it feels like. It feels like we all got connected in a whole other way first. And now seeing each other face, it's like this really... It's just so exciting. It's so exciting. So welcome to the studio,
Thank
the
you.
X1039 studio. Last night, you all slayed the stage of the Black Sheep. You had a good experience there, yeah?
It was the most fun show of the tour so far.
Literally the best venue, the best sound. Everybody, the crowd, like, I don't care who hears that. Everybody was absolutely amazing. And it was so wonderful to play there. It was like a punk show, you know?
It is, yeah. They have that vibe. As a guitarist, musician, sound, everything was cool.
Oh, it sounded great. Yeah, I couldn't. A couple of my pedals were squeaking on me.
Yeah.
So I kept kicking them, but no, it was punk. We haven't had a really good club show in years. We were kind of doing other things when right before the pandemic hit, and then we just did the whole thing in amphitheaters, which was great. But I was like, my feet are sticking to the floor. It's loud.
Exactly.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, exactly. So it's always a good party there, always a good sound. So, but with that, let's talk about that. You guys are basically coming out of pandemic and then just getting right out on the road, hitting as many places as you can that'll have you or whatever. Yeah. And so how's it been? How's it been to get back out on the road? I mean, it was weird to get locked down for a year for all of us, right?
It's kind of starting over in a way and like relearning, like almost like getting on rollerblades, and you haven't been rollerblading in a few years or since you were a kid, you know? It's like you get in the van and you're like, oh, this is how it is. Like, okay, I'm starting to remember now. And you never know what it's going to be like in different cities. Like, we've never played Colorado Springs. We've never played Omaha. So being able to go to these cities and have people there is a really epic and rad moment for us.
Because you don't know, you could be rolling into like 5 people or something, right?
And that's just rehearsal for us at that moment, you know? Just like
that's fine.
Fun rehearsal with the stage. So
it happens. I've seen some cool bands actually where there's just 5 people, and then later on you're like, man, I saw that band when there was nobody there. You always have that story, but obviously not happening with you. And I think pandemic definitely did a weird thing where it like froze bands like yours who were, you know, really building up on their way up. And then touring is so important for a band like yours. It's coming up for the Foxies, other bands. It's getting merch out. It's meeting people. It's, you know, reintroducing yourself to different cities all the time. But that is how radio hears about you. That is how people absorb your music, and to have that freeze for just a whole year is insane. So like you said, starting over.
Yeah.
But welcome back to it.
You.
You guys are slaying. Last night at the Black Sheep, you played, I think, 2 new songs I caught. One of them, I'm dying because I didn't hear the name of it, but it opens up like Blondie's Heart of Glass. Your guitar opens up and it sounds a lot like Blondie's Heart of Glass.
Little Monsters?
Little Monsters.
Oh, yeah. That's the next one.
That's the next single, and it was fantastic, by the way. It was kind of dark. I really liked it. Your upbeat sort of like, you know, presence took a little dark turn, and I really dug that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have a lot of new music lined up?
We do. And that's the cool thing about this pandemic, honestly, is we signed a publishing deal right when it started, like right when the world kind of went dark last year. And since we couldn't tour, we were just writing every day. And Little Monsters was one of the first ones that we wrote during the pandemic, or like one of the first co-writes, pretty much, right?
Were you penned up together?
No, we were both in our different cities. We were.
Like where we? It depended on the session. But that one we were definitely not in the same. I wrote that whole song sitting on a hammock.
Yeah, and
classic. You wouldn't be able to tell because it's so. I haven't fully processed how it like hit us, but yeah, like what she's talking about, like. We did lose this, whatever, like we lost one of our legs or we lost a really big part of who we are with touring. And I don't really, it's hard for me to like articulate exactly how we bounced back, but we were just forced to use other limbs or something. So we were like writing all the time. We got really, really serious about how to be a band without touring, which was at first really just felt not right. Yeah. But I don't know.
I get it.
You got to figure it out, you know? So.
I fully get it. Like in radio, for so long, radio has relied on promotions, having bands in the studio, giving away concert tickets. And for a whole year, we didn't do that either. And so we just had to, it was like the 1950s. It's like, we're just here on the radio.
Wow.
How has it
just
been for you
talking
guys?
about music. And so it was weird. It was really strange.
Yeah.
So you learn how to do, that bass thing first, maybe. And so that helps.
Yeah.
I don't know much, but I know that's a silver lining. I think we'll start to learn more about it as time goes on. But I'm like, okay,
monsters out of it.
Yeah, like we wrote a lot of music.
So, speaking of live shows and all of that, I was so excited. Like I was basically in the band, excited that you were opening for Billy Idol out there.
God,
what
dude.
the hell is that about?
Okay,
let's hear it, Julia. Let's go.
Our manager really pulled a flex for us. So ever since I was a kid, 2 years old, would watch Billy Idol on MTV, and I was like, oh my God, who is this? Blah, 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 blah. And fast forward to when the Foxies started, people would always ask, what do you sound like? And I'd say, if Billy Idol and Blondie had a baby. And then our manager was like, okay, guys, I want you to write down a list of bands that you would want to tour with. Realistic list, and then a dream list. And on the dream list, mine was Billy Idol. And I'm going to get emotional because he made it happen. And I was just like, what the? I was literally like, okay, Charles. And the first show we arrive, the crew just treats us like family. And the band treats us like family.
Yeah.
And speaking of your shirt, the Cult, Billy Morrison, who played in the Cult for a little bit, he now plays with Billy Idol.
Right.
And I was starstruck. So I was just like, what is life right now? And so getting done with such a wonderful tour where everybody is so nice to you and they feed you and they cater and they treat you like one of them. And then now we're doing our own headlining tour. It's definitely a switch for dang sure, but
yeah.
We neided that validation,
we
though.
did.
I mean, it was just the kickstart that we needed. Like, heck yeah, we're getting back in the van.
Yeah.
Let's
with
go.
Billy Idol.
That's a definitely huge bragging point. And yes, saying this is it. We were accepted into the world of whatever Billy Idol rules, which is everybody's universe. And you got to go right up there under the king, so to speak. So very cool. Congratulations.
Every
on that.
band like us, like we would still do it if nobody cared, right? Like that's how much we want to.
Right.
But we can't pretend that it doesn't really, really help us keep it going. When
I feel like there'd be a problem if it didn't get you excited.
Right.
It's like, okay, are you really doing this for the right reasons? Like
if you took it for granted, like that would be lame. You know what I mean? Or just thought, that's right. We're supposed to, whatever. We're supposed to be here and whatever. No. So we're going to play Antisocial Light, which you did last night. I was really excited about that. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about some acoustic jam from you. How does that sound? You feel up to it, Julia?
I can definitely pull one out,
you
for
think
sure.
So? Okay, at least one for us,
At
right?
least one.
All right. It's the Foxies Antisocialite X1039.
I'm so exhausted.
X1039, Kenny Hoopla right there. Just another example of an artist that got kind of shut down last year and then has made a huge resurgence or sort of thrived off of it. I think the Foxies here in the studio with us now, a great example of that. So congratulations to all of you. I've got everyone here in the studio now. But seriously, it's not an easy thing to do, right? And writing new music and trying to line up an album or anything like that is not easy.
Nah.
It's hard. And, you go through so many identities, too. Like, when you're forced to just kind of stay home, you go through all of these musical songwriting identities, and you try to find which one is the new version of the band, or, like, the version of that of us. And so coming back to, like, maybe an EP or an album, I think we've got a really cool, solid group of songs that could easily make an album. It just depends on, what might happen with these next two that we release. Mm-hmm. The funds, like if touring continues to happen, because you never know with the world now, touring can easily stop.
Well, and as we talked about off air, just how people absorb music now, and do they really necessarily need a full album? Is an EP enough? And that's been a discussion from different artists, even artists like Tommy Lee or whatever. That's like, I'd rather just drop a single or an EP because that's how people take in music now, and I'm okay with that. Being okay with it, and until maybe you build up to that point. So. Either way, though, congratulations for staying alive.
Staying
safe, and but also staying alive as a band and giving us new music and just still being creative. And I assume doing that in Nashville is a big bonus in the music city itself.
It's very nice.
So, do you guys feel up to a jam?
Definitely.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
We're going to do Summer Never Dies for you.
Yay!
Yeah. I would love to just give you the new song, Little Monsters, but we don't even have it done yet.
It's fine. It's fine. We'll wait. We'll wait. That guitar intro's sick. It's cool. Very cool.
On
Little Monsters.
on Little Monsters?
Yes, I dig it.
Down, yeah?
All right. Yeah, go ahead. Little sound check.
Little sound check. La, 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 la.
Beautiful. I'm going to turn my mic off and let you take over. It is the Foxies Summer Never Dies acoustic.
Let's do it. Ice cold, hot in a cage. Hasn't beat since 98. I tiptoe like everybody's frozen. So cut me open, won't you cut me open? We can never, never be friends again. So rest in peace to you and me. Bittersweet the memories and history. 'Cause tonight I'm taking my chances. Black night, tongue-tied romance in no time. We're stuck in this moment. Summer never dies when I'm with you. Pink skies in your eyes, I'm helpless. I know you're my weakness. No time, we're stuck in this moment. Summer never dies when I'm with you. Keep out, don't do it twice. I can't help when the wrong feels right, so I tiptoe like everybody's watching. Heat waves don't come around often. We can never be friends again. So rest in peace to you and me. Bittersweet the memories in history. 'Cause tonight I'm taking my chances. Black light, tongue-tied romance in no time. We're stuck in this moment. Summer never dies when I'm with you. Pink skies in your eyes, I'm helpless. I know you're my weakness. No time, we're stuck in this moment. Summer never dies when I'm with you. Summer never dies. Summer never dies. Summer never dies when I'm with you. I come alive. Summer never dies when I'm with you. I come alive. Tonight I'm taking my chances. Black light, tongue-tied romance in no time. We're stuck in this moment. Summer never dies when I'm with you. Pink skies in your eyes, I'm helpless. I know you're my weakness. No time, we're stuck in this moment. Summer never dies when I'm with you. Summer never dies. Summer never dies.
Yeah.
Summer never dies.
Thank you, guys.
I almost started crying. I was like, well, you're the first. You guys are the first band we've had back in here.
Oh,
since,
really? Oh, my
forever.
God.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.